Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Bakeinline. In this video, we will be making bakery style Ferrero Rocher cake. This cake is full of flavors and it has multiple layers into it. The first element of this cake is the chocolate sponge. Next is chocolate ganache, and last one is the Nutella Buttercream frosting. So let's just start with the recipe now. So the first step is to make the chocolate sponge cake. So for the sponge cake, I am sifting 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, 1 cup of all-purpose flour, now mix everything again using a whisk and set this bowl aside. So that's the all dry ingredients we need. In another bowl, crack 4 room temperature eggs and 150 grams of powdered sugar. Just make sure that eggs are at room temperature, because in that scenario they will fluff up more and we will be able to incorporate as much air as we can. Start beating the two together using a hand beater, and this will take roughly 3 to 4 minutes until the ribbon stage we want. So the ribbon stage is basically your eggs will be really light in color and it will have a lot of air into it. And once you try and make 8 with the beater, you will be able to see that 8 for 2 to 3 seconds before it disappears. So that is the ribbon stage I'm talking about. Side by side, melt 4 tablespoons, which is 56 grams of butter, and make sure your butter is at room temperature while you mix it into the cake mix. For preparing the batter, sift 1/3 of your dry ingredient first, and then using a very pointed spatula or that was something which has very sharp end, using a cut and fold method, mix the dry ingredient. Why we are doing this process is to make sure that the air which we have incorporated into the eggs doesn't go out that easily, as we are not using any baking soda, baking powder, any rising agent here. So we want to make sure that the air we have incorporated is still in the cake batter. Now once you see that it's almost done, we will add the butter and keep repeating this step until all the dry ingredient has been folded nicely into the cake. Be very gentle and patient while doing this step. Using this much cake batter, I am able to make 2 6 inches of cakes. If you want to make a bigger cake, you can use the same batter to make a 8-inch or a 9-inch cake. It's just that you will not have the height. So here I've prepared a 6-inch ring mold and I'm pouring half of the batter at a time, and we'll be baking this cake at 180 degrees Celsius for 20 to 25 minutes. Tap it for 2 to 3 times and then bake it. Now next step is to make chocolate ganache. Now for the chocolate ganache, I have melted 100 grams of butter, 300 grams of dark chocolate and 150 grams of Amul cream. And this step you can do on a gas stove or microwave, anywhere. Now when everything is melted and mixed up properly, pour the chocolate ganache in a bowl, cover it with a cling film and set this in the fridge for few hours. Next step is to make Nutella Buttercream. For the Nutella Buttercream, I have taken 100 grams of soft butter, which soft means when you push the butter using your finger, you are able to press it. It shouldn't be melted at all. Beat the butter for 4 to 5 minutes. It's a lengthy process, but you want to make sure that your butter is very light and very airy when you add the sugar in it. Scrape down the bowl using a spatula in between as soon as you feel that your butter is stuck in the corners. Now after some time you will realize that your butter is very light and it is not at all looking like your old butter you started with. Next we will be adding 225 grams of icing sugar in this butter in 2 batches. So just add half of the butter, mix it lightly using the beater and beat it again for 1 to 2 minutes. Then again add the rest of the icing sugar and beat it. And to flavor it with the Nutella, I have used 1 tablespoon of Nutella. Mix it again using the beater until you see that the sugar has melted completely. And now your Nutella buttercream frosting is ready. Set this aside until we need it. Now here I have my cakes ready. So I'm cutting my cakes into 2 layers. I'll be using 4 layers of cakes. So the next step is cake decoration. For that I have placed 1 cake layer at the bottom. Spread 2 to 3 tablespoons of Nutella buttercream frosting, a tablespoon of Nutella with some chocolate Ferrero Rocher chocolate chunks, and this way keep on building the cake layers until you reach the top. Now when you reach the top, just make sure that the sides of the cakes are also clear. If you see any heartbeat coming out of the cake or your cake isn't looking even, then using a knife just clear the sides as much as possible. Also, it is a personal choice. If you do not want to waste your cake, just make sure that your cake remains the same. Okay, so next layer is our chocolate ganache which we made. It's very soft, spreadable consistency. If your chocolate ganache is hard and you're not able to spread it, just microwave it for 5 to 10 seconds at a time, not more than that. Now spread some chocolate ganache on the top and the sides and freeze it for half an hour. And then again using the remaining chocolate ganache, apply it second layer. You do not have to be very specific while designing this cake. It's a very rough cake, and also will be pouring some more chocolate ganache on top, so that will clear all of your issues. Now to clean the sides completely, I have some hot water in a cup and I'm adding my spatula, offset spatula in the hot water first. Clean it using and then apply it over the chocolate ganache. The heat of the water will make sure that your cake looks cleaner. So next is our last step, which is one more layer of chocolate ganache we are using on the top. So for this layer of chocolate ganache, I have taken 100 grams of dark chocolate with 100 grams of Amul cream. Melt everything using a double boiler or microwave and apply it on the top. Make sure that some of the chocolate ganache is also dripping on the sides. Now using the remaining Nutella buttercream, pipe some on the corners, and on each blob add a Ferrero Rocher chocolate, and your cake is ready. I hope you like this recipe. Please do subscribe to my channel, like, comment and share. And next week I'll come back with one more amazing recipe. Thank you so much for watching this. Bye.